Do you remember the excitement of hunting for hidden treasure when you were a kid? When you become an adult, getting a little cynical about hidden gems is easy. But I have great news. In every nook and cranny of this community, there are treasures. Let's explore a couple today on Hometown. Joseph Worthen states the more we see the things around us, even the beautiful and wonderful things, the more they become invisible to us. When you live in a small town, everything becomes very familiar. You could travel the same street 100 times and then one day see a house or a tree you swear didn't used to be there. We can look at the same face for months, even years, and suddenly see all of it for the first time. Living in this community is the same way. We don't always stop to take in the incredible treasures we pass by daily: monuments, buildings, activities, and even people. So today we will explore two community treasures hiding in plain sight: the Carnegie Art Center and the Rural Library District's Bookmobile. Two beautiful treasures that contribute to the remarkable story of us.
Dr. Nelly Pilares, it's a joy to be here in your studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
So where are we?
Oh, this is Picture Lab. This is our studio. It's in Main Street, and we've been here for more than 10 years. And we recently opened the studio to the families and kids who can come and do some art. We actually started last year with open studio times every Wednesday from 2 to 4, where families just can come and enjoy art. They do like free pieces as they want. They can get whatever materials and supplies that are available for them for free here. And it's just a matter of signing up in our website and coming over.
So Carnegie Picture Lab, and yes, we are surrounded by Nelly the colors, and I'm seeing all sorts of different mediums and formats and papers and crayons and markers, and this is just fun. And for so many people maybe who have driven by and gone, what's in there? Mm-hmm. We're trying to share that. So this is basically a place of discovery.
Yes, we are focused on children. Mm-hmm. And the focus of the organization is providing dynamic art experiences for kids. We are trying to be open to everyone, and we are providing equitable art experiences for everyone. So we do mostly programs in schools. Walla Walla Public Schools, our partner that has been with us for so many years. And then we also go to Prescott School. This year, for first time, we are going to Milton Freewater. We are also having a program in Starbucks this year.
Wow, you're getting out and about.
Yes, and Athena, Weston, and we will go to Dayton as well.
And Carnegie Picture Lab has been here for how many years in Walla Walla?
50 years. We started in the art center, Carnegie Art Center, and that was actually our first name. And then that program was called Picture Lady because
Picture Lady, that's cute.
because it was mainly a teacher, a retired teacher, who wanted to take art to elementary schools, and they went to second graders. And that was a volunteer program for free. After a few years, they offered a program for kinder to fifth grade. The difference with that program and the one we have now is that in the past, that was an art history program where they would show the kids some artists, iconic artists, but they would have just 30 lessons per year. and they won't have the art experience.
The hands-on,
exactly.
right? Yeah. So I'm thinking, as you said that, I was thinking of an art class that I had. The picture goes up, and then the professor would talk about that, but we didn't have any hands-on.
Exactly. Then the program was modified a little bit, and we added the hands-on. We still had 3 times a year, all run by volunteers. Before COVID, the organization had about 70 to 80 volunteers going to schools. But COVID made a significant change. So after COVID, we had to rethink our program because we didn't have enough volunteers. And so we trained art teaching specialists, and that's how we are delivering the program now. It's not based on volunteers anymore, and they are trained people and well-versed in what they are teaching.
Well, and you have an extensive art background. Please share with us about what you have done with art. So your degree is actually, your PhD is in art.
My PhD is in culture. Hispanic literature and culture, language, literature, and culture. So it's a big name. But mostly I focused in art. My BA is in art education. I studied in an art school in Peru, and I taught in their kinder to elderly, everyone, for a few years. And then I moved to the United States, lived in Minnesota for 7 years when I went to grad school. And then I did my dissertation on Baroque art from Peru.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, and how, this religious syncretism happened when Spaniards came to South America. Yes.
Well, and when you said Peru, boy, all of the art that I have seen in Peru is just beautiful, all the colors and the woven things and everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for giving us an understanding of that. And what is it like for you when you see, as a professor, you have a degree in this, and yet to see kids and adults come in, whether it's a school or here in your facility here on Main Street? What's it like when you see like the light bulb go off and someone's really found their niche and a talent?
Yeah, I feel that every experience, every person, regardless of who they are, should have an art experience. And I just find it so rewarding to see kids smiling with what they do and have fun. And it's just something that fills my heart. So that makes me think that the work I'm doing now, it makes sense, and is that's what I love. I love those smiles. I love those kids discovering things, discovering colors, how you mix things, and how you make art.
Let's talk about what you have in front of us right here. So, Nelly, what are these?
Well, this is actually pieces of art made by children in our last event at the library.
And this is a tile piece.
It's a tile piece. It seems like the kiddos made like it is an octopus, and it's the sea.
The sea. Isn't that neat?
Yes, and that was made at the library. So it's a couple, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes doing that piece.
Yeah.
And and that was made by by another kiddo, and that was a salad spinner.
A salad spinner
that they used to paint. Yes, so, adding drops of paint
and spinning it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that creative?
Yes.
Oh, I think that is really neat.
Yes.
That is really neat.
Yes.
Well, sometimes I think that we have this perception of ourselves of, well, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not good at this. But what would you say to that person?
Well, that's what we said in our very first class this year to every single children who went into the schools and our classes. It is, you don't have to be an expert. You just express what you want.
Try.
And yes, do what you want. Express, say something with colors. If you don't know how to draw, that's okay. Add colors. If you don't know how colors mix and whatever, do whatever you want. And that's your piece, that's your way to express, and that's you, and you are loved. Anyway, anywhere anything you do will be great because that's you and that's an expression of you.
Oh, I think it's great. So the age range that you have, youngest.
Pre-K. In the studio here we have 4 years old.
4 years old.
Uh-huh. And then we work all the way to 12th grade. And this year we are collaborating with the Spark Center. And we will have in there some workshops where we will do stuff with them. And those are students, I think they go up to 18 or 24 years old. So we're trying to cover all the youth, young artists to youth. And
so for someone who's wanting more information, what's your website?
it is www.carnegiepicturelab.com.
Thank you so much for having us here on Hometown, and hopefully we've inspired some people, especially some young people, to get involved and learn more about art. So thank you.
Thank you for having me and for coming over to our studio and for inspiring the families to come over too.
Thank you. And I should say, muchas gracias.
A ustedes.
So, Chris, it is great to be able to chat with you a little bit today about the rural library that we have, Walla Walla County Rural Library, a great asset to our community.
For sure.
Who's it for?
It's for everyone that lives in Walla Walla County, outside the city limits of Walla Walla City.
Okay, so if you're in the city limits,
you use the downtown city library,
Sure.
which I use a lot, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for everybody that's not in that area. And where can
Yeah.
we find the rural library?
So the rural library is all over the county. So we have College Place, which is across the street from Walmart, next to GameStop and Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
We have Touchy, next to the school in Touchy. Burbank, which is up in Burbank Heights, which I call the winery because it's a beautiful outlook of the Columbia River. You can see the windmills. It's beautiful. Prescott Branch, which is a beautiful branch, has an old stained glass above the door. Used to be an old mercantile. And then we have our newest branch up in Vista Hermosa at the community center, which is our busiest branch right now. So,
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. So then, you've just named off more than a handful of places where you can go to check out books with the rural library system. You're kind of in charge of taking care of all of those?
I'm in charge of the Bookmobile, the one I didn't say, the one that I drive.
Okay.
And I do community engagement. I'm sort of I'm the face of the library. I go out and do lots of community events. I do the fair. I do the College Place block party. I go to schools, do story time with the kids. The community engagement.
Yes.
I don't do birthday parties and bar mitzvahs, but I do a lot of after.
You did.
I know. I wish I did. I don't know about the balloon animal skills.
Okay, you could learn that.
I could at the library. Yeah, I could learn that at the library. Exactly. We probably have a book on that
I
somewhere.
bet you do.
But yeah, I do community engagement. I drive the Bookmobile, which we consider a branch. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about the Bookmobile
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Okay.
So that automatically right now sounds to me like it's on wheels, it gets around.
yeah.
So where do you go?
I like to go out to Vista Hermosa where we put that branch there. I went there for quite some time when there wasn't a library there. And I serviced that community with Bookmobile service. And the drive was to get a library out there in Vista Hermosa. We were out there in 2018 and things fell apart. And there wasn't a library anymore. It wasn't used at all. And we basically closed shop. And what happened was that me going out there with the Bookmobile, and there was a need for a library there. And so eventually this past year, we opened up our brand new branch. Like I said, it's the busiest branch we have right now. And it has lots of people using it. So I still go out there occasionally, but it's mostly, now that we have a library there, they don't need me as much. But they're all asking me, the kids call me Mr. Chris.
Yes.
So where's Mr. Chris? Where's Mr. Chris? So I still go out there. But
All
yeah.
right, cool. Now, who is it for? I know we said it's
Yeah.
the people that don't live in Walla Walla, but think about the people that you're servicing through all of the branches, really.
So yeah, anyone that lives outside the city limits of Walla Walla is a patron of ours.
Is this free?
Yeah, it's free.
Okay.
Your tax money pays for the library. Like I said, it really is for everyone. The library is for everyone from all walks of life. It's the last place you can go where it doesn't cost. You don't have to buy anything. You come to the library, no one's like, you need to buy a cup of coffee. It's a free place for everyone to come. And the doors are always open. College Place Library is open every day, Sunday through Sunday, every day.
Now that's kind of it's a small space
Yeah.
compared to, for instance, the Walla Walla Library.
Yeah, it
it's
is
a
a
big
small
space to
space.
hang out. So it's it's in a strip mall. It's
Yeah.
a small space.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because I'm not going to go in there and just peruse the shelves for
Not for
hundreds of
hours.
books, right?
You were thinking of like when I grew up, I had a 3-story library, old Carnegie building where I'm searching.
Yeah.
We service the entire county, so we have to worry about other communities as well. And so what happens is that we talked with Mike Rizzatello through the city here in College Place. Lions Park is getting renovated right now.
Yes.
The first phase is happening, all the great stuff. I love Lions Park. I do the farmers market with the Bookmobile there.
Oh, cool.
And so what's happening is that they're going to build a 2-story building in Lions Park. And the first story is going to be city. Second story is the library. And so we're going to have a brand new library. The College Place Library will be in Lions Park.
Now, this is something I did not hear from the city administrator when I talked to him. This was a while back, but that's great news.
I'd say about 4 or 5 years down the road, but we want to put that library in Lions Park.
So then there'll be more space.
Yes, much more space.
So do books rotate through the
Yes.
rural library system
Yes,
then?
you can get a book from, we have a courier that runs twice a week. It's 85 miles round trip. Goes to I've run the courier myself and driven to all of my branches where we pick up material and bring it to other branches. And it runs twice a week. It's a great service.
So does that mean you could actually request something then?
Yeah.
I mean, let's say I go into, I live in not very far at all from the college. It's like walking distance for me to the College Place branch. So I could go in and maybe they didn't have something I'm looking for. I could request.
So even if we don't have, if that book might be our Burbank branch or Prescott branch or Touchy branch, and if we don't even have it, we do what they call interlibrary loan.
Ah, yes.
I mean, you can ask us to find it somewhere else in Washington State or find it somewhere else in the country, and we'll see if we can get it for you. It's a little harder with academic materials. Sometimes people don't want to lend that out. But then again, we have gotten stuff from, different universities around the area and through Washington State, but we can get stuff for you.
Yeah.
And it's free. That's the best thing about libraries, they're
really
free.
Great. So kids are a special audience for books, and I know that you go out and engage with them. Say a little bit more about how important books are for kids.
Oh, so with children, I do story time at College Place with little ones. I go to Davis Elementary School. I go to Touchy School, Prescott School. I go in the classroom and I have a lot of fun with the kids. It's really important that early literacy, that first step to early literacy, is that you're reading to the child. Like I know people that say, I read to my child in the womb. It's important to do that. They hear your voice. And then there's always books in the house.
Yes.
There's always books on the shelves. There's books in their room. It's okay to have too many books in the house. It's a good problem to have.
That's good because we're definitely in that category.
Yeah. So I love working with the kids. It's probably my favorite. I'm the crazy uncle that comes in. I have a prize wheel. I go and we do a story, and then after that we have a wheel we spin where we can have prizes like free books they can win, candy of course, toys. I have a question mark. If they get the question mark, I have a water bottle and I squirt them in the face. And I don't know where I came up with the idea. I always think of the flower the clown would wear that squirts water in your face.
Yep.
But it's been a hit for years. I've done it for years. I've squirted football coaches, principals. I've squirted Norma Hernandez, the mayor of College Place, in the face. I've actually I went to a conference in Arizona for Bookmobiles through American Library Association. I was a speaker, talked about my first year with the Bookmobile. I said, we all have that kid in us that wants to have fun. And the way to get people, like I know kids that are reluctant readers that don't want to read.
Yeah.
By bringing that humor, I can kind of coax them and trick them into reading a book. It's sort of like, hey, you like the Seahawks? Here's a book about the Seahawks. Oh, you like airplanes? Here's a book about the airplanes. And you start that momentum where one book becomes two becomes three. And so for me, with little ones, I'm a big guy. The kids call me Bigfoot. I wore a 16.4E. So when I get down almost on the floor, and I have to be face to face.
I have to look at your feet now.
I know. Now you got to look at my feet, right? With children. I have gifts that I like to share with them and try to be on their level. And not every kid likes me. I understand that. I do squirt people in the face. I have made 5 kids cry in the last 5 years. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun.
One per year.
It's only one per year, so I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, literacy is important for that young age, and even having books in the house. That I know some parents are like, I read this book 25 times every night this month to this child.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
That's why you come to the library, we got more. So you can find books for you too, if you have time. We're not tired from raising a child, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So once in a while, some well-known people like the mayor of College Place come
Yeah.
into the library, and you actually were telling me about somebody right before we started our interview that we might know, a voice we might know.
Oh man, so I would do the Ducky Derby, and I take the Bookmobile Ducky Derby out by the community college. And I used to actually work at the community college library when I first started my library journey. So Jim Bach, the voice of the valley.
Yes.
The Walla Walla Balloon Stampede. I was a huge fan
pretty
of
good
him.
impression
Thank
there.
you. I'm a huge fan of Jim, and he would come out and do the Ducky Derby. He was also one of my patrons at Plaza Way Library, which was next to Mongolian Barbecue before he went to College Place. And Jim would come in, and I was like, Jim, how do I get in the radio? He's like, make me a mixtape. And I was like, oh, okay.
Does anyone make tapes?
I know, right? Do we do that still? But yeah, I mean, I've been in Walla Walla for probably about 15 years. It's my home. The valley's my home, and I love this place. And to be able to have a bookmobile and to go around the county and use that bookmobile as a backdrop for the outreach I do. Come in the bookmobile. There's so much nostalgia with bookmobiles. People are like, oh, I grew up with the bookmobile. It came to my town. And so for me, it's sort of like, you get to relive.
It's like the ice cream truck.
It's like the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
I know, right? My vehicle's about 23 years old. We bought it off at the Kennewick Library. We got the library deal. And so it was a good deal we got from them. And then we still get people, what I know from Mid-Columbia Library System in Kennewick. They're like, oh, that's our old bookmobile. We're so glad to see it's still going. It's still doing the good work it needs to do. So, yeah.
You got a great and fun, rewarding job.
I love my job. I love what I do, for sure.
Now, what about the Library of Things? What's that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So we have a lot. It's not just books anymore. We have actually, you can check out laptops, iPads, a pressure washer.
What?
Yes. You can
Actually,
check out
I need one of those.
I know, right? You can check out a pressure washer. We have what they call kind of like GoPro cameras you can check out. We have a guitar, ukulele. It's really worth, on our website, you type in Library of Things in our catalog, it'll show you all the different things you can check out with Library of Things. Because we're more than just books. The library is diversified,
incredible.
so yeah. It's a really good service we provide. And like I said, we have that courier system, so we can get it to you pretty quick. And if you go into the branch, there's a few, and we also have board games, tons and tons of board games you can check out as well, and try to get the family around the table, more cooperative gameplay.
Absolutely.
So,
Board
yeah.
games are very popular at my house. So.
Yes, mine too. I have a 12-year-old, and we play a lot of games, so that we're not on our screens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's just good to be off screen sometimes.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Onto the book, onto the games, the fun
Exactly.
stuff.
So yeah, we're more than just books now, so it's worth coming to see.
Oh, thanks, Chris. It was great
thank
to
you.
chat.
Thanks for having me.
The colors are changing, the berries are wilting, and I'm on an adventure today to go find something awesome up in these mountains up here. So come with me if you'd like. The flooding that took place here back in February of 2020 was so wild and a devastation to many. The South Fork Walla Walla River really completely changed the valley in many ways. The river changed directions, created new pathways. If you're a local to the area and have seen this place before the flood versus after, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What was once a place for families to come and picnic, for people to ride dirt bikes, bicycles, go for hikes, basically now is frequented much less because of the bridges that washed away, which has made access much more difficult. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to climb over that log, and it is not an easy log to climb over. So whoever came in and made the cuts and created the pathway through it. Thank you very much. Look who is on my backpack. I just hiked 8 miles one way for this thing. Yeah, so I walked 8 miles one way to come up and see this plane. And, my wife and I have been talking a lot about there are so many things that we have both been able to see and experience in our lives that has been so unique because we were willing to go off the beaten path. We were willing to explore. And so I want to encourage you to go off the beaten path because there's a lot of interesting things out there. We didn't know this was here until we just ran into it a couple of years ago walking by. So, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out exploring, hiking, driving somewhere, whether you're exploring a little downtown in some city somewhere, I want to encourage you to go off the beaten path, find something unique to do, find something unique to explore, and those will be memories that will last you a lifetime. So, the memory of this will last a lifetime for me because I just walked 8 miles up here and now I have to walk 8 miles back. So I've got to leave now. But thank you for watching, joining me on this segment of Hometown, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Treasures are everywhere. New things to learn, to see, to experience, to read. English poet Leigh Hunt once noted, "Your secondhand bookseller is second to none in the worth of the treasures he dispenses." Every day, we take so many treasures for granted. Yet when we change our daily focus and set out to discover and experience things for ourselves, to see our community as visitors see it, it refreshes our spirit, energizes our mind, and emphasizes what is truly of value. We have an opportunity to count our many, many blessings, and our most treasured blessings are our community, friends, family, and neighbors. In the words of Jesus, "Store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Thanks for coming with me on this treasure hunt. I'm going to see if I can find more treasures I've missed. See you soon on our next episode of Hometown. Do you love uplifting stories of people in our community as much as we do? When you give a gift, you make local, uplifting, community-focused programming like Hometown possible. To find out how, just use the QR code or visit our website at the link in our bio. And don't forget to like and subscribe to hear more great stories about our valley.